Wardah Khalid, and I have been a religion blogger for the past 4 years. And a lot of times when people think about blogging, they think about some, like nerd sitting behind their computer, writing or ranting about their day or what they ate for breakfast, or, something that they think like they want to share with their friends. But blogging is so much more than that. And to illustrate this fact, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Who recognizes the name Anders Breivik? Yes, he was, okay, wow, you guys. That was the name of the Norwegian shooter who shot a bunch of people based on his political motives, and a bunch of children. It was a big tragedy. Okay, now I'm afraid to ask this question. Who recognizes the name Pamela Geller, Robert Spencer? Okay, so you guys know them more. So after he was arrested, Anders Breivik, it was found that he had a 1,500-page manifesto in which he cited these people who are American bloggers. And they're Islamophobic bloggers, but the point is that they were able to influence Anders through their work as bloggers. And I think it's just really crucial because it shows how important blogging can be and what kind of impact you can make through it. And so this is just a slide that shows how many times they were cited in the manifesto. So they were cited, dozens and hundreds of times. So I try to be a little more positive with my blogging, not do, Islamophobic. It's more, I think through my presence I can be more anti-Islamophobia. But before I go into that, I just wanted to cover the basics really quick. So what exactly is a blog? And a blog is short for weblog. It's a website that contains an online personal journal with reflections, comments, and often hyperlinks provided by the writer. That is a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition. And they can be written by one or multiple authors. So why would you want to blog? You can do it to get your personal or organizational message out there. So whether you're an MSA or whether you're working for charity or any sort of organization, you can try to get your story out there, and you can connect with other people who have similar interests as you. You can build a following through your blog, and people become invested in your story the more you post, and so they can follow new ideas and new trends and new products. And like I mentioned before, you can also use it to fight stereotypes or fight Islamophobia, which is kind of why I began blogging 4 years ago. So my story really quick is I used to write for my school paper. I went to Texas A&M University, and there I was an opinion columnist for the Battalion, which is the paper there. And after I graduated, I realized that growing up in the South in a predominantly non-Muslim community. Now, Houston has a lot of Muslims, but where I grew up in the suburbs of North Houston, there were not that many. And also where I went to school is notoriously known as a conservative school. So we had a Muslim community there, but there wasn't that much diversity. So I recognized that I was in a unique position to kind of bridge the gap between the stereotypes about Muslims and the actuality, the reality of what Muslims were living every single day. And so I thought, I called up the Houston Chronicle and I pitched them a few story ideas, and I told them that, I'm interested in writing for your religion blog, and they said, sure, come on ahead. And then ever since then, I started writing Young American Muslim. And this is just a small example of the kind of things I've been involved with since I started. So I'll write about local, national, and international events. I have an article about the NDAA. I wrote a story on the Boston attacks, which is actually the story that Al Jazeera came and covered my story about. So they came and they just followed me around, like running through Central Park and going to class and things like that, showing like how an American Muslim lives after these attacks. Social media is a very important part of it, so I'm very active on Twitter, and that way you can connect with other bloggers like I mentioned before. And one really cool thing that came out of it is what I was talking about building a following, is that when you have readers invested in you, and they will, when you're consistent with your blogging, they'll check in on you and they'll keep in touch with you and they'll reach out to you. So last year, one reader, who was a longtime reader, he reached out to me and he said, I feel inclined to tell you that, thanks in no small part to your blog, I visited a masjid here in Houston for iftar during Ramadan this year. It was a quite moving and enlightening experience. So that was really great to receive that, and I, after I received that, I was like, alhamdulillah, that's exactly why I'm doing this, just to break these stereotypes. And a little while later, that same guy emailed me again, and he told me that he had actually converted to Islam. Wow. So, mashallah, that was really great to feel like I could play some small part in that. And so, I mean, it just shows you the power that blogging can have. So there's also other Muslim bloggers out there, and I'm sure you've heard of a lot of these, so I'm not the only one doing this, and they all have their different specialities. So no matter what area that you're good at, I encourage people to get out there and write about what they're passionate about and just put their name out there and share their knowledge with the world through blogging. So if you are interested in blogging, I just wanted to give a couple of quick blogging tips that I've learned throughout the years. The first thing is to decide on a platform. So whether you want to go to WordPress, Blogger, Tumblr. I have a WordPress blog. Before that I had a different blog. So it depends on what platform you're on. You can choose one that's already established. Like you can submit an article to like All Muslim or something like that. Or you can start your own blog. Pick a topic or a focus. If you are kind of all over there, people don't really know what to expect of you or what to make of, of your blog. So I try to focus on, religion, politics, lifestyle, things that are, I don't always write about Muslim issues, but they would be from a Muslim perspective. So I try to keep some sort of the common thread. Be consistent with your posting. Just the other day I received a message from a reader and he's like, why haven't you posted lately? And it has been a month since I last posted. I usually try to post like once a week or once every 2 weeks. And it's because I've been so swamped with school starting. But, people will ask you. They'll hold you accountable. So be consistent. Use visuals. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Keep them short. Keep the post short. If you write this whole manifesto of your own, no one's going to read it. Maybe once in a blue moon they make you really, really interested in read it, but keep it about 500 words. Don't overshare. Like I said, if people are looking to you for certain knowledge, they don't want to know what you had for breakfast. They want to know what your thoughts are on the specific issue. And take negative comments with a grain of salt. One thing that I have really learned through blogging is to develop a thick skin. So nothing really phases me anymore because, people will say things about you, and this is where kind of the stereotype of hiding behind a computer screen proves true, because they think that you don't know who they are, even though I have their email address and I approve every single comment that goes through. But they'll think that, I can say whatever I want, I can be disrespectful, it doesn't really matter, and, it does matter. And so just learning to deal with that and roll with the punches and not let it get to you is a really good skill to have when thinking about blogging. And finally, exercise patience. Results don't happen overnight. Like I said, I've been blogging for like 4 years before Al Jazeera came, and before that I did, other speaking engagements and things like that. So you have to really put in a lot of work. It's not like a fluke thing that you just decide one day, I'm going to be a blogger, and then you don't do anything else with it. You have to put in a lot of work and dedication to be successful in this. And so finally, marketing your blog. So you might have this really, really great blog, but nobody is reading it. So one thing that I wanted to touch on was how to make sure that people are reading it. So use tags to make it searchable. If you're familiar with blogging, you can put in different things. So since I was blogging about this, I could put Red Talks, social justice, things like that, NYC, NYU, I could put something like that. Tags others who might be interested in your post. They'll retweet or reblog or repost, and do the same for them. Link to your Twitter, Facebook, or Gmail account. Use social media these days. There's no excuse not to be on social media. I fought getting on Twitter for the longest time, but I finally did it, and now I love it. So definitely take advantage of that. And comment on other blogs and include your blog link. So if you want people to comment on your stuff, you should comment on their stuff, and then put, yes, I write for this blog, and then they can check it out, and other people can check it out as well. And ask other people to share your blog and return the favor. So that's a really great way to kind of get started with tips on blogging that I learned. And if you have any questions, feel free to see me afterwards. Here's my contact information, and hopefully we'll have more bloggers after this. So thank you.